Oh, hey everybody, welcome back to Thanks for Asking. It's a podcast, video podcast, where we get too close to each other.
Anyways, it's your question.
My turn. Okay, my question. What's your favorite theme park ride / theme park experience? Let's talk about some fucking roller coasters and amusement parks.
So we live by a theme park.
Yes.
So I've been there a lot.
Yeah.
I don't have like a favorite ride. I'm not like, it might be I don't remember the names. You know the one by the spinny things? It like looks like this. It's 2 rows of people, one like this, and it goes into like this thing.
Okay.
And they like turn like this and they flip upside down and stuff. But at the same time, water sprays up. Oh, yeah. I love that one. That's probably my favorite one, actually.
That one's so good. You know what? I think I've only been on it once because it's always closed.
Really? It's never been closed when I've been there.
Are you?
And one time I made my aunt go on with me, and the whole time she was yelling at me.
No, I like that one. It's fun. When I was a kid, I was terrified of roller coasters.
Same. I only ever went on the Ghoster Coaster, which was the Scooby-Doo Kids ride.
When I was like, here's my Wonderland story. When I was, I think 4 or 5, I went because my cousin worked there. So he took us on like a day that he could take people in for free, and we got to the front of the line on a bunch of rides and all this kind of stuff. And we went on the Thunder Run, which is the one that literally just goes in a circle around the mountain, and you go through the mountain.
Yeah.
And I cried so hard. I was terrified the entire time because I don't like the dark, and I don't like at least I didn't like the dark, and I didn't like loud noises, and the entire thing is like you're in the dark and there's flashes and loud noises happening, and I spent the entire ride with my head in my mom's lap, and like from that point onward I would never go on roller coasters. And then when I was 12, some other cousins were like, hey, we're going to Wonderland, come with us, and I was like, okay, fine. And then I like went on a couple roller coasters with them and had the time of my life, and then every year after that I got a season pass in Winter Wonderland multiple times every summer.
I didn't like rides, but then I think from like 14, 15, 16 I went with my friends, and they like kind of goaded me, and then I started to like them again.
Yeah.
But can you not like play with my toes? Fetish.
You're the worst.
There's 2 super big rides at the amusement park Wonderland where we live. One of them is the Behemoth, and one of them is the Leviathan.
I went on the Leviathan 13 times the summer that it opened.
So, I think it was like the second year after that the Leviathan came, and I would like at this point I was like, I'll go on rides, but the Behemoth and the Leviathan, which are huge like monsters of rides, like they're crazy.
They're like the anchor stores of Wonderland's mall. It's like Leviathan and Behemoth are like the Sears and the Bay.
People like travel for these rides, right? So I'm like, I come, I'll do the rides. I do a bunch of rides. I do crazy upside down ones. I'm fine with it. Mm-hmm. But these are the ones that like I firmly like my foot is down. Like I know I'm not gonna like it. So no.
Yeah.
But then there's some peer pressure, right? So I went on the Leviathan.
Uh-huh.
Not only did I go on the Leviathan, I was in the front row.
Oh, I've never done front row.
For my first time.
Oh my god.
On the Leviathan.
There's an extra lineup to get into the front row usually because everyone wants front row.
So the Leviathan, for those of you who don't live in Ontario,
I think
goes straight on up.
Yeah, the very first
and
hill.
And it keeps going up.
It's like 300 meters high or something.
And it keeps going up. And it keeps going up. And this is the kinds of ride that I hate, where the only thing holding you in, it's a chair, and the only thing holding you in is a small thing here. There's nothing.
I love it.
Shut your mouth. Because that thing drops straight down. Straight down. Fast. And I was gonna have an anxiety attack. I was freaking the fuck out. I was not happy. And to distract me,
yeah,
my friend Alex started singing, what's that fucking Jason Derulo song that came out? You know what to do with that big fat
wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
So that song had come out that summer.
Yeah.
So she started singing it to me, and like I was like laughing about it, and I started singing it, and as we dropped to our deaths, with just this holding us, so my whole body was just
oh yeah, your butt lifts off the seat a little bit, and it's
I 100% thought I was going to die.
Uh-huh.
And the soundtrack to my death was gonna be Wiggle Wiggle by Jason Derulo. So that was that. And then after that, they were like, okay, now we have to do the Behemoth. And I was like, excuse me, I'm traumatized. They're like, yeah, but that was the bigger one. So
Behemoth is scarier to me.
Exactly. okay, this one's, like, not as big drop, it doesn't drop straight down, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm, like, in the line, and I'm, like, there's, like, 8 times that I almost went out of the line. I was like, I'm not doing this. I did it. The whole time I was just looking at the end, like, almost there. And I've never gone on those rides ever again.
Yeah, see.
And I never will.
That's why when we were just talking about fears, I said, like, I can't call mine, like, a fear of heights or a fear of falling, because I am so in love with the Leviathan. The fact that it only straps you in a little bit and, like, the adrenaline rush going down, I love it so much, because I know that if anything happens, first of all, it's not my fault, so I don't care if anything happens, right? I don't know why that's the thought that goes through my head, but it's like,
I mean, it's true, but, like...
It's like I have nothing to do with my own safety on that ride. I'm just there for the thrill, and I love it. I love it a lot.
This summer, I was in Israel, and I was, like, sleeping over at my cousin's one night, and she was just watching some random YouTube videos, and, like, we got on, like, some, like, one of those, like, compilation videos of, like, top 10, like, roller coaster deaths.
Oh my god, no!
And I was just sitting there watching that, and I was like... Can we turn it off? Can we turn it off? And she was like, to her wife, can we turn it off? Can we turn it off? Can we turn it off? And her wife was like, or no, her wife was like, can we turn this off? And she was like, wait, but number 10.
Oh my god.
She's like, wait, number 5, this is a kid. And I was like, no, I don't want to watch it. She's like, oh, I heard about this one. It was pretty bad.
The one I really, really don't like is the drop zone. Pretty much anything.
Oh, I've never done that.
Yeah.
I'm too scared of, I don't know why, like, it used to be a thing people talked about, was like getting your legs cut off by that, which I don't believe.
There were so many
rides.
But
just a straight up drop like that?
There's a ride like that at Marineland. There's a ride like that at every Six Flags. Like, every amusement park has a ride where it's a straight drop. And I don't like the straight drop. It just makes me feel sick.
I've never gone on it, and I just, like, there's nothing that makes me want to.
Yeah, I wouldn't. My absolute favorite ride at Wonderland is... Crap, I always get them confused. Sledgehammer and the one beside it.
There's the one that, like, is down and it turns like this while it goes like this.
Okay, the two of those, so there's one that's like, it's like you're all sitting in a circle and the circle spins and the thing goes back and forth. And that one is a ton of fun because my friend showed me the perfect place to sit when you go on it. So every time I go to Wonderland with new people, I show everyone the perfect place to sit when you go on it. And it's the best ride you'll ever have in your life. But then the other one has
the claw one.
Like it has like 8 arms that like go up and then they spin and then there's a bunch of stuff. And one of them is called the Sledgehammer and one of them is called something else, but I feel like they're named wrong. Like they should the two names should be switched because I always get them confused.
Really, I feel like the one that's like
But those two are my favorite.
Sledgehammer.
The one that's like actual like the spider
one?
arms thing, the claw one is my all-time favorite, but it's closed often because it breaks a lot and apparently it takes a long time to try to fix it, but every time it's open, I'm like first in line to get on it. And then the spinny one, I really like that too.
Yeah. Also, that summer that I went on those rides was like my summer of like making sure I'd ridden like all of their rides because I like all of the rides except for those 2, which are the big ones. So like, they made me go on it just to like complete my list. But I went on do you know the one by the pirate ship that it's green and it's a circle?
Yeah, and you stand in it.
And you stand in it and you hold the bars.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, it's going around really fast. This is fun. But then it goes like this.
Yeah.
And then you're holding on and falling down into bars, going in a circle like this. It was not fun.
Centrifugal force, baby.
It was not fun, that one.
That one, I'm not a huge fan, but when we go on it, I had a group in high school. It was a couple people who it was like, I think there was like 3 or 4 of us who every time we went to Wonderland, it was us and then a couple other extra people that would like, the group would rotate, but it was always like the solid core of the group. Mm-hmm. So it was like me and these people, whenever we'd go on that green one, we would just stand there and play rock, paper, scissors through the bars. Yeah, it was good.
Have you ever had someone puke on a ride you were on?
Oh, yes, a friend of mine.
No way.
We went to... There was, like, a summer that my friend's band was playing in the band shell there for, like, a battle of the bands. And one of my friends... Well, a couple of us went early so we could, like, go to Rollercoasters and then also go see their show. And we went on my other favorite ride, which Shockwave.
Oh, I love Shockwave.
It's like there's a post in the middle and there's 5 arms that stretch out and you could sit on them and then the whole thing goes up and spins and then the arms kind of like flip around too It's just another one that, like, mixes up your brain. I was gonna say that was
one of my favorite ones behind the one that I mentioned, which is the one with the water that goes like that.
Yeah. I like that one's called Riptide. I just remembered. Riptide's good.
And I like the Double Dragon, which is next to it. That was, like, my first real roller coaster, was Double Dragon. Because, like I said, I only ever went on the Scooby-Doo Ghoster Coaster as a kid. So then I was like, okay, I'll try this one to, like, get me into it, and I didn't realize that one had a loop-de-loop in it.
Yeah.
So after I did that one as my first real ride, I was kind of, like, ready to take on the world.
Okay. Yeah, so my friends and I were doing Shockwave, and this one girl, apparently she is not good on roller coasters, and we had no idea. And I was like, hey, Shockwave's my favorite one. Do you want to go do that first? And everyone was like, yeah, let's do it. And we got in line, and she was like, oh, this looks fun. And we went up to the line, and we got on the ride, and we did the ride, and we got off, and everyone was unhooking their stuff. And as soon as she unhooked her belt and the thing went up, she, like, projectile vomited onto the ground in front of us. And I was like,
you were like, oh, I just saw that.
And then she was like, yeah, I'm not good on roller coasters. And I was like, why did you agree to go on one that flips your body around 100 times? Yeah, it was not good.
That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
The only, like, thing that's happened to me on roller coasters, like, I took my sister on one and she just screamed the whole time, and I just laughed the whole time.
I'm always the person who screams the whole time.
She was genuinely scared. She was like, and I was sitting next to her pissing my pants laughing the whole time. That's the only thing.
The first time I went back with my cousins, we went on the claw arm one, and we were all sitting in the same, it's like each circle holds like 8 people, so I think there were like 4 or 5 of us. We were sitting in the same circle, and before anyone, like, people were still getting onto the ride and strapping themselves in, and there was like no chance that the ride was going to start moving. But I was sitting beside my cousin, who was like 10 years older than me, and she's sitting there, and every time anything clicks or makes a noise or screeches or anything, she was like, ah, 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 like constantly. And I was like, people aren't even in the ride yet. Like, we're not moving. It was so
I really
bad.
like the wooden ones.
Oh, I hate those.
That's what I say. Everyone that I go with hates it, and then they, like, make me feel weird about it. So, like, it's so old, it's gonna break.
Well,
and
no,
I'm
that's
like,
not my fear.
What's yours?
Well, okay, one of the wooden ones.
Like, I'm talking about, like, the wildebeest.
Yeah. Okay, so there's the wildebeest, and there's the Great Canadian.
Whatever.
Buster,
yeah,
or something like that.
Oh, that one's so good.
Okay,
that's one my sister screamed right off.
That one I do like, except for the part where you go through a metal tunnel, and all you can hear is the loudest rattling noise you've ever heard in your life, and every time I come out of it, my ears are ringing, and I hate it. The wildebeest, though, the carts are so uncomfortable that I bruised my hips the last time I rode it, because I just kept banging back and forth, and it hurt so bad. That's also why I won't do the one where you have to lie down, because as a female, it hurts.
Yeah. And also my sister went on that one when she was too young, like too young to do it, because my dad took her on it. And she was like, she's already like a small, skinny woman. But, like, as a child, she was still small and skinny, and she just, like, she was, like, in it, just shaking around.
No.
She was like, that was so much fun. Yeah, my mom, like, is super into roller coasters, which I wasn't for a while, so I never got it, but my mom is, like, an adrenaline junkie, I guess.
Oh, cool.
I never realized that, but yeah, like, she loves scary movies, are her favorite. I can't watch a scary movie.
Well, the last time the only time I went to Disney World, the only time I've gone to an amusement park that wasn't Wonderland technically, was Disney World. And it was at, like, I was 11 or 12, so it was at the point where I, like, still wasn't big on roller coasters.
Yeah.
So
but their rides aren't, like, crazy
I know,
rides.
but we really didn't do many rides because my mom doesn't like coasters, and I was, like, super against it. So all we did was the attractions and stuff.
Yeah.
But I really, really would like to go back to Universal or Disney or anywhere that's, like, a bigger theme park and do every ride, because I know I like them now, and it would be fun, because there's so many that I hear people talking about that I'm like, yeah, I walked by that, but I didn't do it.
I mean, from my Disney experiences, like, I did all the parks when I was really young, so I don't really remember that. And then I did Epcot, and then I did Universal Orlando when I was in, like, grade 9. So I remember, like, I did all the Harry Potter rides.
Yeah.
Which were good. But, like, the only one I remember was the one where it takes you in the castle. And I remember, like, not a lot of that ride because I waited in that line for so long and I had to pee so bad and they didn't let me out of the line to go pee.
Oh, no!
So the whole ride, like, I was in genuine pain, like, ready to go off. And as soon as that ride ended, I just took it off, ran past my family because they were waiting for us. And I was like, I gotta pee!
Oh,
but it was a fun trip. Got a Gryffindor scarf, even though I read the first book, I think, maybe half of it.
I've read all the books and seen all the movies, and my family is, like, big into Harry Potter.
My
so my cousin
big
knit me a
into
Gryffindor
it.
scarf a couple years ago, and I have one.
My brother's super big into it. Like,
I'm not surprised.
He's a Harry Potter boy.
That's
he has
cool.
like even the new Cursed Child thing. And, like,
oh, I haven't even touched the new stuff.
I mean, he's like 10.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I wasn't into that. I was, like, into Percy Jackson for a hot sec.
Yeah.
Or the Babysitter's Club. Ooh, I was super big into Geronimo Stilton.
Were you? I love Geronimo Stilton. Oh my gosh.
Those were my favorite books growing up, dude.
Yeah, wow.
Grade 4 with Mr. Cooper. Oops. Every time we had free reading, bitch, everybody in the class was reading Geronimo Stilton. Oh, you finished that one? I finished this one. You want to trade? Because I don't know that one. I don't know the Great Cheese Caper. Let's switch it out.
That's so good.
Love Geronimo Stilton.
Wow. What a throwback.
Super hyped on that, dog.
Well, it's been real.
It's been a real cheesy time with Geronimo Stilton. See ya!